Hey there, friends. Interesting story out of Philadelphia this week where a couple, anywhere from 2 to 3 home intruders got shot at. The events seem to be a little bit questionable, just not 100% sure about what's really going on here. Before we get started, I want you guys to know that I'm about to be partnering up with Mission First Tactical on some really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. As you guys know, these guys make some really good 30-round magazines. They also make some awesome bags. Some really good kind of gray man type bags. You know what I mean? You blend in, but very functional for what we need them for, as well as other gun parts and things like that. That's what I remember them as, is gun parts back in the day. Now they make really cool stuff, but also holsters too. So we have some really cool stuff coming out to commemorate the Louisiana permitless carry law that's going into effect July 4th. So keep an eye out for some of that. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. Visit them now and check their stuff out, but I have some cool announcements that I'm going to be making very soon. Regarding this story out of Philadelphia, guys, I want you to watch this video, and there's one thing that this video doesn't say that the news reports are saying that I want you to keep in the front of your mind as you watch this. They don't mention in this story that you're about to see that this lady who shot at these home intruders was with her boyfriend. Keep in mind that her boyfriend was with her when she was attacked in her home.
A woman arrives home to find 2 intruders inside. Shots rang out and now 1 man is dead, another wounded. The shooting happened inside the woman's West Philadelphia apartment on the 6200 block of Chestnut Street around 2 this morning. Police say the woman, armed with a gun, got into a fight with one of the men. 13 shots were fired, killing that man in a bedroom. And a wounded man, police are calling a person of interest, turned up at the hospital. The woman is being questioned, and police say she is cooperating and does not know the men.
So a lot of question marks here. Biggest one for me, still, as you look at some of these other reports out there that do clarify that this woman was with her boyfriend, is that if this woman felt the need to describe this guy as her boyfriend and he did not intervene in any kind of way during this attack and he was not involved, sister girl, you might actually have a girlfriend instead of a boyfriend. Just saying. I know there's a low T count, a low testosterone count, and a lot of the maturing men these days, let's just call them that. So that may have something to do with it, but nevertheless, I found it very odd that they mentioned one time that she's with her boyfriend, but she did all the defending, and she did all the shooting, and she did all the fighting. Not one mention about the boyfriend being involved at all. Now, I have my own suspicions for that. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be fair. It's possible because this lady is in Philadelphia, very anti-gun DA, very anti-gun, very pro-criminal DA. They mention at the end of the story that they're not sure if they're going to press charges on her yet. Let me remind you, she was in her home and there were 3 people allegedly dressed as law enforcement officers trying to break in, then attacked her when she was inside with her boyfriend, right? And they're not sure if they're going to attack her, or charge her for the shooting. Now, the possibility here could be that, especially if there's charges involved right now, seems to be some question marks and some holes in the story. It is possible that the boyfriend, quote unquote, may have been a prohibited person. You follow what I'm saying? You tracking here? It's possible the boyfriend was maybe the one who did the shooting. Maybe he's the one who fought these guys off, but he could have been a prohibited person. So she may be the one having to take the fall for this. And I say take the fall for it. It's not like she did anything wrong if she shot people attacking her in her home. I'm just saying she may be the one going on record for performing the actual trigger pulls versus the prohibited person. I would like to think that is the case and that a grown-ass man would not let his girlfriend do all the fighting off of 3 other grown-ass men while he sat back and cowered in a corner. Let's hope that's the case. One of the men was shot in the head. That was an awesome shot, and that is, to me, a testament of whomever did the shooting. If it was the lady who did this, good shot. Great shot on that. I mean, that's a deterrent. You know, if this is a high crime area to begin with, not sure if it is or not, but if this is a high crime area, she sent a message. She sent a message loud and clear that not only am I armed and maybe dating a girlfriend, but I also know how to shoot. I would have probably gotten some Polaroids of that. I know that's sick and I know that's twisted. Sometimes the message you send is not meant for front page news or to be on the 6 o'clock news at night. Sometimes the message that we're trying to send might be a little R-rated, but nevertheless completely effective in sending the right message. Very odd, though, that they say that the preliminary investigation revealed that the three men were trying to break into the home while disguised as police officers. It says one of the men had a badge attached to a chain around his neck. I mean, it might have been police officers. Let's be honest here. We're talking about Philadelphia, right? Now, regarding the potential charges of the woman, let's remember that carrying weapons in Philadelphia, under their code law, you are not allowed to carry a concealed firearm on your person or to travel with a firearm in your vehicle without a valid license. However, an exception applies to carrying a firearm in your home or in your regular place of business. So, unless this woman was, by their laws, not mine, a prohibited person, I don't understand what the charges were. She did shoot the guy, I believe the one she shot in the dome. She riddled him pretty good. I want to say it was one shot to his dome and then like 9 shots to his chest. That still should not be something she should be charged with, right? She was in her house being attacked. I don't think that was excessive. She, again, was trying to make a point. She made it. But the scary part to me about not knowing whether or not there are charges made, if it doesn't involve the boyfriend, if he was not a prohibited person, this is just simply her that did the shooting, they're in an area with a DA who is very anti-gun and has made some very anti-gun statements in the past. And I believe that it's sad to say that when you have a person who did all the right things, if in fact she did, there's still a question mark of whether or not she's going to be charged for something because of the elected officials. How do these people elect these kind of DAs? You have to think that in every case where you have an anti-gun DA, they're almost always propped up by George Soros money. No, this is not a conspiracy. This is an actual fact. Check this guy's record. I'm sure he is a George Soros supported, funded, whatever. The Alvin Bragg guy, isn't that the one up in New York? Well, whoever the Bragg guy is, he's completely funded, his campaign was, by George Soros. Most of these anti-gun guys are funded by him, and not only are they anti-gun, they're pro-criminal. It's like a package deal that you get. So you're not going to find a pro-gun guy that's pro-criminal or vice versa. It's always like that. So my guess is this guy, this DA, is likely, number one, he doesn't like law-abiding gun owners. So he has a chip on his shoulder against this lady already. Number two, she shot some of his boys. You know, those criminals are his people. I mean, he is probably being funded by anti-gun, pro-criminal money, and by God, he can't let this go. I mean, he has to realize that that's the kind of people he needs to be defending. And I'm being very sarcastic whenever I say this. So I have to imagine that some of that may have to do with it too. The fact that they are with these DAs that are super, super pro-criminal. You know, people should really wake up and realize that if you got criminals in your family, you shouldn't be voting for these pro-criminal DAs. If you have criminals who are related to you, that shouldn't mean that now you have to give up your vote for a safer community. You can still vote for a better DA. You know what? Let your criminal family members go to jail. That's where they belong. I had criminals in my family. I never once felt sorry for them. In fact, was glad they got what they got whenever they finally got caught, because they were garbage. So I don't understand how these people in these communities continuously, and maybe it's name recognition and the money thrown into the campaigns, but they continuously vote for these same kinds of people. So this guy here, in some of these predominantly black communities, gets voted into office, and they know that he wants to disarm them, and they know that he wants to let the criminals back out on the street. Yet these are the same people pissing and moaning and crying that crime is so high and rampant. You voted for it. You live in a bad community. You vote for somebody who makes it worse. That's on you.
God save the Queen, man.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. He's so